Hey, welcome back to another update of my Canadian dividend investing portfolio. So, if you're new to the channel, what I do is I'm basically a Canadian investor buying and selling Canadian dividend stocks on the Toronto Stock Exchange using Wealthsimple Trade and tracking them with this custom Google Sheet that I made and kind of just bringing everyone along for the ride to show you what it's like to be me, an amateur, non-professional Canadian investor. So, taking a look at my portfolio here, we can see that I'm sitting around $63,200 in stock value. You can see that I've got a negative dollars in my cash, and I'll get to that in 1 second. It's because I have yet to enter a few dividends that I've just recently received in my trading account. But overall, we're up just shy of 8% or about $4,600, and we're looking at an average yield of the entire portfolio of 3.93%. So basically, all of my portfolio, my stocks, so 63,200, if you multiply that by 3.93%, that works out to an annual dividend income of about $2,485 on average, kind of distributed across all of the different positions that I have. And you can see here some of the recent months that I've been receiving dividends and exactly how much I'm getting. So my average is around $207 per month. That's just this number divided by 12. And you can see some months I'm over, some months I'm below, but it's kind of averages out to that, and it's always growing as I deposit more into this account and buy more dividend stocks. So let's actually first correct this, because let's take a look in Wealthsimple Trade at the dividends that I received, and we can find those in the activity tab, and let's just filter for dividends here in the tax-free savings account. This will be easier to find. We can see here that I've got one from TransAlta Renewables for $862 and another one from Fortis for $1926 that I have not logged yet. So back in the dividend spreadsheet, what I do is I come down to my dividends tab here and I manually record each dividend that I get. So I had already recorded the third one, which was from BMO, but the two most recent ones was TSC R&W. This is TransAlta Renewables. I received this one on November 30th, 21, and this was $862 that we just saw on the previous screen, and that was in Canadian dollars. And then I also had TSC Fortis, FTS, and these guys, if you saw, that came through on December 1st, December 1st, 2021, and that was a value of 1926 Canadian dollars. So every time I get a dividend, I do come in here and I update this, and then I just check the summary page, and everything is correct. So now I actually do have $8.80 cash, which you'll also see in Wealthsimple Trade. This is exact to the cent, and then this number will have gone up a little bit as well for that November payment. And actually I did get one in December, so what I can do is I can come down, I can add another bar, which is down here at the bottom. Basically I'm just going to drag all of this down, and I think this should work automatically. I just need to increment that, so I will just tell it what the pattern is, December 21, and when we come back up here, we can see here now that I'm also starting to track the bar chart for December. Okay, so getting in what I want to do today, I have $8.80 in my account, and we can see that here as well in Wealthsimple Trade, but I want to add some funds today and make some trades with the money that I just added. So let's go and do that. Today I want to put in $700, which is fortunately within the instant deposit limit, so I'll be able to use this right away. I'm going to try to spend all of this in this video. So let's confirm that into the tax-free savings account, confirm, and this should be ready in 1 second. Alright, so we've got the $700 available to trade now. Let's jump back into the spreadsheet and take a look at what we want to buy. So I'm going to be looking in my portfolio tab, which breaks out the performance of each of my positions or individual companies that I own, and I can sort and filter this in different ways to kind of get a better idea of what's going on. So I'm often sorting by the percent holding, keeping the biggest ones at the top and the smallest ones at the bottom. And this gives me a good idea of which of my smaller positions that I might be interested in adding into, that are making up less than 1 or 2% of my portfolio. And then some of the big ones are ones that I might want to try to avoid at the moment because they already make up a huge portion of my pie. Now, this isn't the only way that I look at it. I also sometimes, like today, I was checking out the gain loss. I was just kind of getting an idea of what are my best performing stocks or positions. Up here we can see some of the top 3, I suppose, and then when we get down to the bottom, definitely some in the red here. Now, what I was doing today was I was checking out which ones are in the red and which ones are also making up a small percentage of my portfolio. You can see here I have this little plus sign that indicates if it is below 3.03% of my portfolio. That basically means that if I had, I think I have like 31 or 32 positions. I think it's 31. If you had any 3.03% in each position, then that would be a totally even split. So I just have this here to indicate. It's like easier to see if it's like this, because of course all of the ones on the bottom half would have the plus sign, and you can actually come across here and see that starting here and going down, they're all below this kind of equilibrium point for me. But when I sort it like this, it's a little bit more apparent maybe what I should be. It's one way to look at it, what might be worth buying. So I was looking at getting some in the red, as I like to buy the dip, as they say. I saw in here Severia is in the small portion of my portfolio, making up 1.79%. So I was looking at getting those guys. Same with MFC. For example, I'm avoiding HR right now because they make up almost 8% of my portfolio. Like, I just don't need any more of those. Down here, another small position, Acon. They've done quite a bit in Northland Power. I saw these guys. I'm going to hold off on Northland Power for a little while right now, but definitely be picking up Acon. And then some of these other red ones, like Algonquin Power, they're making up already a pretty big chunk of my portfolio. They're down really far, but I'm not really interested in buying them. And then these three, I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not I want to buy. I want to sell out of all of these three pretty much as soon as they're in the green for me. So I could either wait for them all to come back up, these pretty huge percentages, or I guess I could like put more money into them and then I'll be in the green sooner if they rise, but I don't really want to risk any more money on them for now, so I'm going to hold off on those. But some of the other ones that I was also looking at that are not in the green, I'm not exclusively buying, exclusively buying stocks that are in the red for me today. Take a look here. Another one that I was looking at here was Exchange Income Corporation. I really like these guys. It's a monthly dividend paying stock and pretty strong position of mine. Same with Power Corporation. Power is one of my smallest positions as well. Pretty strong stock that I'm always interested in slowly increasing. And if we take a look at some of their trend lines or spark lines over the last little while, I think actually instead of, this is kind of a comprehensive one, but I like to quickly go through my extra spark lines tab, which is here, which compares them all together. And I can quickly scan for trends. So obviously here I've got it selected for 3 years right now. You can see COVID right here pretty much in the middle. And we see a lot of big drop-offs on the end recently, not for everything, but for a couple of them. So when I come down here, I was also just checking, scrolling through, and I noticed EIF here. EIF is one of the companies that's hit pretty hard in the last couple of weeks or month or so. And there's just a generally strong stock that I like holding, so I'm definitely going to buy more in here, because if I go back across, this is like equivalent to having bought it back here, or even here, or even here, or pretty much even here. And I was buying the stocks at those times, and so I'm going to try to load up more, as they generally do go up over time. Coming down, I think, let's see what else we have in here. Pizza. This is another one that I kind of like. It's just generally slowly growing with a nice strong monthly dividend. They are dipping down a little bit, so if there's any money left over in my portfolio after I buy the other stocks, I might just throw the rest in here because they're all quite cheap. And then here, Acon. This is one that I'm definitely going to buy today, just tanking. They're pretty much almost at COVID levels here, which is something I'm interested in buying into. And then as we go down, I think we can also see MFC, Manulife Financial. This is one that I'm looking to buy. These guys are dropping off pretty hard in the last little while. Like, we're again back to this kind of first recovery point from COVID, which is not bad considering you could have bought them all there and you'd be back where you started right now. So might as well buy them now. And as we go down, looking at some of the other ones, Severia, this is another one that I'll be picking up today. Again, kind of starting to decline lately, and that's something I'm into. I'm going to add some more, especially considering that this is one of the smaller positions in my account. And where else are we? Down here, getting towards the bottom, Power Corporation. Pretty nice stock, and they're just not shooting straight up at the moment. They have dipped a little bit, so again, I'm okay with that. And this is as one of my smallest positions, something that I just want to add more to. Okay, so let's jump into Wealthsimple Trade and start buying some of these stocks. So first of all, we were looking at Exchange Income Corporation. These guys, again, kind of see what's going on here in the last year. Nice big dip right here. I want to pick up 2 of them. I am up on this position currently. I think I was up, 9%, so I'm doing really well. And just if they recover, I'm going to, even the stocks I buy today will hopefully do well in the future. So we're going to buy those. 2 at the market buy, confirm the order. It'll be around $85, and that's going to be done. Okay, the next one was Acon, that's A-R-E, and the TSX. These guys, again, beat up like crazy lately, and I'm going to jump in on that. I'm going to take around 10 of these, so it'll be about $170. Going to confirm that, and take those guys. Okay, the next one on the list was MFC for Manulife Financial. And the TSX, these guys I want to take 6. And this is also going to be around $140, give or take. Again, you can see this nice big dip here that we're jumping on, or decline, who knows? Time will tell. So we'll get that. And then the next one I was looking at was Severia. So in here, SIS Severia Corp. Again, nice little dip or decline, either way, who knows. They're still high, over in the last 5 years, up 75%. That's pretty good. But anyways, gonna jump on that dip if it is one. So with these guys, we're gonna take 8 for around $150. Take that, confirm the order. Okie dokie. The next one to get is Power Corporation. That is just POW on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Again, very strong stock these days. And again, I am up on this position, currently up 8%. That's pretty good. But just because they're up doesn't mean I don't want to keep adding more to them. I would like to keep them as a significant, position in my account. So I'm going to get to adding in about $85 to this company and confirm that order. Okay. So that was everything that I wanted to buy. I do have a little bit money left over. I have like $70 or $80, and so I did want to just put the rest into Pizza just while I'm here. I would like to actually get Pizza up to the point where I'm earning enough in dividends every month to buy another share, and I'm not quite there yet. We can check that probably in a second. But yeah, I think I'll just drop these in. This is pretty good recovery going on in the last couple of years. Of course, they've been way higher in the past, and hopefully we can get back up there one day. But time will tell, as always. So let's just see how many we can get. $78. We could probably get 6 of these guys. Let's go for that. We'll take 6 of those at a market order. And so now what I want to do is I just go into the activity tab and just check for the buys that I've recently done in the tax-free savings account. And what I want to do is I want to transfer these into my spreadsheet to make sure I'm tracking my account totally correct. So for example, I'm going to come and I will take the quantity and the exact price per share for each of these, and I'm going to drop these into my transactions tab on my spreadsheet, making sure that everything is exactly correct, and we're going to just check the totals afterwards. So we're going to jump into the transactions tab down here, and this is just a master list of all transactions that I have ever done in the account. And like I said, I'm going to put in the exact quantity and individual stock price for each of these positions that I just added to, and double check that at the end that all of these totals add up exactly to what the totals were again in Wealthsimple Trade, and also double checking here that the actual stock name showed up based on what my ticker is, because the stock name is automatic as well as the total, and if those are correct, then I'm most likely correct as I go. So if we jump back into the portfolio tab, I guess, we can reorganize this now to see the percentage by holding, and actually some of the orders of these will have changed. For example, Power Corporation previously was below the Bank of Nova Scotia, and now it's bumped up a little bit because I've added more money to it, and it's approaching finally to maybe break that $1,000 mark, hopefully. I'd like to get actually all of these ones above $1,000, and like I said, these ones, I don't know, I'll think about those ones later. But yeah, okay, so the last thing that I always want to check here in the summary tab is basically, for example, I forgot to put in the cash. So when you're doing this automatic, or when you're doing this manually, of course you have to track everything, and user inputs are a risk, user errors are a risk, and so you can't forget to also log the deposit that I made today, which I meant to do at the beginning of the video, but here we are. Tax-free savings account, so I did drop in $700 today. It was Canadian, and that was on today is, I believe, December 6th, 2021. So there we go. The cash, yeah, there we go, 770. That was the same as what's in Wealthsimple. And basically the thing that I'm really looking for here is the dividend annual income, because at the beginning of the video, this was at $2,470, and now it's at $2,515. So that's an increase of like $30, $40, $45 per year, I think. Totally passive income. In my case, it's tax-free because I have all of this in my tax-free savings account, and I am getting close to my limit, I think, because my net deposits are approaching 60,000. And I've had a tax-free savings account. I can go up to like 75 or something. So at some point, I'm going to have to watch and make sure I don't over-contribute. But for now, all of this is tax-free, which is awesome. And yeah, anyways, guys, that's kind of the point of this, is that this number, when you continuously deposit into your, you continuously buy dividend-paying stocks, the more dividend-paying stocks you have, the bigger this number gets. And if you, especially if you reinvest the dividends, like if I'm going to be reinvesting this $2,500 every year back into this portfolio, that's $2,500 of my, that's going into these stocks, into these tax-free savings account stocks. That's not even money that I'm putting in. And this is really builds this snowball effect. And as the companies continue to grow the dividends too, this just gets out of control, and eventually you'll have like a whole bunch of income that you can do with whatever you want with. So with all that said, guys, if you watched this far, thank you very much. If you're interested in dividends, let me know down in the comments. Maybe what's your favorite dividend stock, best performing, or just favorite one to hold, because I always love hearing them and learning about some new positions that I could possibly add to my portfolio as well. So guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you down in the comments.